Okay, so we'll start the head with a cube. Let's go to create, polygon primitives, cube. So the cube is getting created in the center. We'll push it up. Okay, I'll go to vertex mode. I'll make sure that I press 5 to get the shaded mode. I'll push this to this chin area. I'll push this to the back of the neck, and this one to the forehead, and this one to the back of the head. Okay, so that's just the basic shape coming out from the side view. We'll have to do the same thing in the front view. When we do it in the front view, we will push from the left side to the center by turning on the grid snap. Push it to the center, and then this one will push it to the right end. This one will just keep it somewhere there. This should come to the front. Now there is a small problem between the front view and the side view, so we'll just approximately try to match. Okay, now from the side view we'll add one edge loop so that we can extrude this neck area. I'll push this little up. Okay, so somewhere here we will add an edge loop. Select all these edges, connect components. Now I can push this up, and I can push this also up. We don't have to make any changes in the front view right away. We'll make the tweakings later. And this side we will have to delete these two faces, and we will make the duplicate to the other side. So delete two faces, select the model, go to edit, duplicate special, options. Let's choose mirror axis is Z axis. Make sure that it is instance is turned on, and in Z axis let's give -1, and X axis let's give +1. Say duplicate special, so that makes the duplicate. Let's look at the front view. I'll have to push these side ones little down. I think the rest of the things we'll have to check from different views. Let me look at the side view. Okay, this must be the center one, or the side ones. The center one is supposed to come down, so you can see from the other views how it is coming out. And here also the center one is going too much inside. We push it down. I'll try to keep these two things almost to the same place so that we can make the extrude from there. I will have to select this vertex to push it slightly in to make some kind of a circular shape here. I'll push this a little bit back. Now from here I can make the extrude for the neck. Select this, extrude, push it down. Okay, now when we do this kind of extrude, we have to be careful about one important thing. That is, you will have extra faces created in the center. So we'll select that face, delete that, and now we can push it closer. Let's make sure that we push it to the center. Select this, press X, push it to the center. Let's look at the side view. We will have to bring this down. Push this down, push this here. And from the front it is not matching. Now one other thing that we can do is we can delete these faces that are down here in the bottom. We can do the same thing for this neck area from the body. Okay, now we can attach these two things. I'm not doing the combine right now, but I will just simply align these vertices together. I'll select this vertex, and we have always used the grid snaps. Like grid snap, we also have point snap. Okay, so what point snap will do is snap this point to that point. So that means like snap this vertex to this vertex. So they will be aligned properly, but still they will be two pieces, not combined, but they will look as if they are one object. Got it? It looks like one object, but when we but they will be two different objects. Now from the top view, by looking from the top, I can just pull these things closer. I'll turn off the snap, and this also we will have to pull it in. Let's look at the other views. Pull this up. Now I will have to add one edge loop horizontally. I will basically have to add a couple of them. I'll start with one. I'll select all these edges, connect components. Now I'll push this to the eye line. So starting from there, the eye should go basically above the ear. Let's look at it from all the angles. Let me look at it from this front view. I think that's good enough. The side one has to widen up a bit. Okay, that's somewhat the basic shape. Now I'll add for the end of nose or the mouth area. I'll select all these edges, connect components. I think that's good enough for the mouth. I'll push this a little bit up. But basically you have to tweak the model depending on how the shape is unfolding. Okay, so we'll add one edge loop here for this nose area. Push this up. Keep on tweaking the shape. Okay, we can extrude the nose from somewhere here. And the eye from somewhere here. And the mouth area comes from here. So I will add one more edge loop that goes this way for the eye. So this I can push it up to the forehead. Okay, I think I will have to push these things a little bit to the left. Okay, now I will add one edge loop that goes all the way through this front. I'll choose insert edge loop tool. I'll add it somewhere in this towards the front. I'll pick up these vertices, push them a little forward. Okay, so based on this I will be extruding the nose from here. Push this to the left a bit. Now keep in mind, when I'm maybe the last time when I modeled this head I might have done it in a different way, so there is no one single method that you can do the entire thing. Every time you do, you will be doing it in different ways. So whichever works out well, you just continue working on. Push this out. Every time you add an edge loop, it is recommended to to push these things out so that they won't line up in the same line, and your entire model would look more rounded. Okay, I'll push these things a little bit down just to fill up that gap. One other thing to keep in mind is try to maintain same or equal distance between these edge loops. If you have more space between one, you can just pull that gap, fill that gap by pushing these vertices up or down. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I will extrude the nose from here. Extrude, pull it out. So I will have to do a couple of things. Number one is we have to delete the one that is created in the middle. Delete that. Bring this back to center. Choose both these vertices. Press X and align them in the origin. Now I can push this down, push this a little bit up, just to align them with the shape. This is too much wide, I can push it closer. Select this, push it closer. Select all these edges. Connect components. I will have to, selecting the ones that are in the other side. I'll select one, press up arrow to select all of them, and connect components. When we go to the side view, I will push these two vertices down and these two vertices down just to get that nose shape. Let's smooth it out and see how that looks. Okay, that's good enough so far. It takes time, be patient. Watching for a long time might be boring, but continue watching. Okay, I will add one edge loop here. Connect components. Go to the side view. Push these up. So that starts to get the shape. I'll push these things out. Okay, now for the eye, we will extrude from here. Make it a little small, not too small. I should see how the eye comes out. And I can pull these things out a bit. I'll start to scale this out so we can push this back a bit. I'll add one edge loop through this vertically. Before that, I will have to push this out. Okay, now I'll add an edge loop here. Connect components. With that, we can round the shape a bit better for the eye. Push this little backwards, push this little down, keep it like that. Now, depending on the other edges, we will have to modify these ones. Let's tweak the shapes depending on the need. Let's look at the side view. If you want to have more details, we can also add more edge loops. Let's see how that looks. I'll just make an extrude inside. Okay, now for the eyes, we will be creating an eyeball inside this eye. So let's go to the inside of the face and see how that looks. I've made one extrude that made it come out. I will have to make one more extrude, make this bigger by scaling it out. Okay, I'll make one more extrude, push it in, make it smaller. Okay, now I basically have 1 2 3 4 5 6 faces for the eyeball, right? So if I have, the more edge loops I add, I can also add one that goes horizontally like that. Okay, the more I add, the more resolution I will have, the better it would look for the eye. At the same time, the more complicated it is, the more difficult it is to modify that also. So once we got that much, we can just create a sphere. Let's make it smaller and make it fit in that eye. I will have to push it forward. Okay, we'll have to make a duplicate to the other side also. Make sure that it is not intersecting with the rest of the body. Okay, I think that's good enough. I think this jaw area is too narrow. Push it out, push it further out. Okay, I will add one edge loop this way. Connect components. Tweak the shape. Okay, I think I'll have to make it too wide. Okay, it takes time to tweak. I think that's good enough there. Now we'll have to add the mouth. I will use the split polygon tool. Split polygon tool. Choose that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we'll have to I'll make one more from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll delete the one that is inside to create a mouth. Now, as I told you earlier, we should not have any triangles and four-sided faces. Sorry, five-sided faces. As you can see here, we have a triangle, a five-sided face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can avoid that just by adding edges through this. So we basically end up with all four-sided faces. Let me look at it from the front view. I can pull this little down. Okay, and we'll have to do the same thing here. 1, 2. I can actually flow this through. I'll leave it there because we'll have to add more edge loops this way. I will just leave it there. I will add this edge through this. Okay, let's see how that comes out. Now we have a five-sided face here, which I will have to avoid. I will draw something that goes through this and ends up here. Okay, now we have a triangle here. We can avoid this triangle just by adding now having triangles and five-sided faces will give you a problem when we do the texturing and rigging part. Okay, so it is a rule that you have to keep in mind to avoid triangles and five-sided faces. Okay, because when we unfold the textures in UV, if you have three-sided faces and three-sided faces and five-sided faces, you can't get a good result. When you have very complicated models, when you have a situation where you cannot avoid having a three-sided face, you are allowed to have just few, one or two. Okay, Now we can make the ears from a separate object. We can choose a cube, start with a cube, and then work on based on the cube. I'll start with the cube, go to the ear area, okay. So first we just have to get the basic shape. So I'll add a couple of edge loops. One here, one here. Push this out, keep it there. Push this out. Select all these faces, extrude, scale it in, delete the inside. Okay, I'll also delete the other sides. So we end up with something like this. Okay, and let's go to the front view. Push everything to the center somewhere here. And this step I'll have to do based on looking different views. So all these side ones, I'll have to push them closer to the ear, closer to the body. And this one should also be touching the body. These ones will be out. These back ones will also be out. Select these, push them in. Okay, so basically ears, you can see that the top ones will be a little bit pushed out and the bottom ones will be going further in. Okay, now we can select all these edge loops that are all the edges that are inside, extrude, make it smaller, make it go in, further extrude, make it smaller, keep it there. I can fill hole the inside area. Once you fill hole, you will have to add 2 edge loops. I can choose split polygon tool, add one from here to here, add one from here to here. So if you smooth that, you will end up with something like that. Now we'll have to add more edge loops through the middle. Shift right click, insert edge loop tool, add one here, scale it out, push it a little inside, add one edge loop to the center here, push it slightly out. This will start to give you the shape that you want. Now for this side, it has to be a little bit pushed inside. Not too much of details that we have to show. So let's make it a little flat. Okay, I'll select these vertices 1, 2, push them a little inside. I'll do the same for these 1, 2, push them down. I'll select this one, push it slightly out. Okay, so that looks like the ear. Now the back side, it is opened. We'll have to select all of them, extrude, scale it down, Okay, we'll have to add a couple of edge loops there. We can maybe push it inside, something like that. So you can leave it as a separate object, or if you want to attach it, you can also attach it by making a hole in the same place where you have the ear. You can attach that to the model. That's just the basic idea. Okay, so you make a cube and then modify it according to wherever you have the eye area. You make a hole for the eye, extrude that inside, reshape it. For the nose, you extrude the nose. Just avoid adding too many edge loops. Just add what is needed, modify it. If you think that you need more, you have to add more. Okay. Okay, now once I make these two sides of the head, okay, I will have to combine them as one object, right? So you have to do it in two steps. So the step one is, now you have two different objects, right? Select both of them and do a combine. Select, mesh, combine, right? So that makes it one object. But still, if you go to these edges, if you go to these vertices, there are still two pieces. Okay, so the second step that you have to do is select all these vertices that are in the middle. Okay, click and drag, that will select all the vertices that are in the middle, and choose merge vertices, merge vertices.